Short hair plus wrong color equals trouble. 6 mistakes that age your whole face. Let's not sugarcoat it. Some short haircuts, paired with the wrong color, don't just miss the mark. They rewind us straight into the tired and dated category. And you know what's wild? We think we're doing the right thing. Going shorter to look fresher. Picking a bold color to brighten things up. But if you've ever walked past a mirror and thought, why do I suddenly look sharper, but not in a good way? You're not alone. I've made every one of these mistakes. Jet black that turned my skin ghostly. Short layers that flattened instead of lifted. And tones that looked amazing in the salon under those magical lights. That's why in this video, I'm laying it all out. The 6 biggest short hair plus color combos that quietly age your whole face and how to fix them. You'll learn which cuts pull your features down, which tones clash with mature skin, and how to flip the script without feeling like you're trying too hard. Because after 60, we deserve more than trial and error. We deserve style that celebrates us. Ready to find your glow up? Without guessing? Let's get into it. Combo number 1, super short crop plus jet black. Let's talk about that combo, the super short crop and jet black hair. It sounds efficient, right? Clean, sharp, easy to manage. And jet black? Timeless, dramatic. Takes years off, they say. Except it doesn't. Not after 60. Here's the truth. When you pair a blunt, close-cropped cut with the darkest dye on the shelf, what you often get isn't youthful, it's harsh. I get the temptation, I really do. That wash-and-go pixie feels liberating, and black hair used to be our go-to reset button when we wanted to feel bold again. But once your skin softens with age, and let's be real, mine has, jet black stops playing nice. It exaggerates every shadow, highlights every line, and turns even the gentlest resting face into a scowl. And the crop? When it's too close, too flat, too unforgiving, there's nothing left to frame the face. No softness, no balance. You're left with all features and no filter. And unless your cheekbones are still doing push-ups, it's not doing you any favors. This combo also shrinks the face visually. The tighter the hair, the more exposed your jawline, ears, and hairline. And if volume has already left the building, as it tends to do, it can look a little, well, severe. So what's a smarter move? Swap that jet black for a soft espresso or salt and pepper blend, something with warmth, depth, and a hint of light reflection. And instead of the buzzed crop, try a pixie with gentle layers at the crown, just enough lift to rebalance the face. Soft sideburns or a bit of fringe can go a long way in adding charm back in. Bottom line, short and dark doesn't have to mean strict and stark. You can have edge and elegance at the same time. Ready for another one? The next combo might sound youthful, but it secretly washes your whole face out. Combo number 2, Pixie with no volume plus flat gray. I remember sitting in my friend Linda's kitchen, sipping lukewarm coffee while she vented about her hair. She had just come back from trying something practical, a no-fuss pixie cut in a soft gray tone. "It's easy," she said. "I don't even need a brush." Then she looked in the mirror and whispered, "But why do I look tired?" I didn't have the heart to say it out loud, but I knew. Her hair was flat, no lift, no movement. And the gray? It wasn't silver or dimensional or soft. It was flat gray, the kind that sucks light off your face like a black hole. Here's the thing about volume after 60. It's not a bonus. It's a necessity. When we lose volume in our skin, in the cheeks, temples, jawline, we need that visual lift from our hair to balance things out. But a super flat pixie with no shape at the crown, that only drags the whole face down. It makes the forehead look wider, the eyes look smaller, and the jawline less defined. Even if your bone structure is still strong, Flat hair will make it vanish. Now let's talk about the color. Flat gray might sound soft and elegant, but in real life, it often comes out dull, lifeless, especially under indoor lighting or cloudy skies. Without subtle highlights or lowlights to reflect the light, the gray becomes almost matte. And guess what matte does to mature skin? It emphasizes sallowness. It makes skin look cooler than it is. And worst of all, it hides your sparkle. The good news, this is one of the easiest mistakes to fix. You don't have to grow your hair out. You don't even need a dramatic color change. You just need a few tweaks. Ask your stylist to cut in soft layers at the crown to give your pixie shape and lift. Nothing extreme, just a gentle rise that elongates your silhouette. Then, ask for a hint of silver shimmer or soft lowlights, something to catch the light and create dimension. Think of it as turning on a lamp in a dim room. Same space, totally different vibe. Linda made those two small changes, volume and tone, and the next time I saw her, she looked like she'd taken a vacation. Bright eyes, soft skin, a lift in her smile. That's the power of hair that works with you, not against you. And the next mistake? It's one that tries so hard to be modern, it accidentally drains all the life from your face. Combo number 3, blunt bob and ashy blonde. It's wild how something can be both trendy and draining, all at once. Take the blunt bob and ashy blonde combo. It's on Pinterest, it's in magazines. Your stylist might have even suggested it with a sparkle in their eye. It's chic, it's modern, it's French. But here's the twist. What looks sleek and youthful at 30 can make your whole face disappear at 60. Let's start with the cut. A blunt bob. You know the kind. Straight across. No layers. No softness. It sits heavy at the jaw and does nothing to help gravity's little games. On a rounder or softer face, it boxes you in. On a longer face, it drags you down. Either way, it creates angles your face may not be asking for anymore. And then we pair it with ashy blonde. Cool, flat, almost gray. Sure, it sounds elegant, but most ashy blondes on mature women, they read as tired, washed out. They flatten the skin and make everything look just a touch off. Why? Because as we age, we lose pigment in our skin, the warmth, the glow, that healthy golden undertone we used to take for granted. So when we pile a cool-toned color like ash blonde on top, there's no contrast, no lift, no glow. It's like painting a watercolor on a gray wall. The details just vanish. And here's the kicker. Women often choose this combo to look modern, but in reality, it creates a kind of accidental uniform. The same angular bob, the same pale tone, and somehow, no matter the face, it always feels a bit severe. You're not alone if you've looked in the mirror and thought, why do I feel so neutral? But here's where the twist becomes the win. You don't have to ditch short hair or blonde. Just bend the rules a little. Soften that blunt line with long, face-framing pieces or a slight angle. Add subtle layers, even just at the ends, to bring movement back. And as for the blonde, warm it up. Even the smallest shift, from ash to beige, from cool to creamy, can bring your skin back to life. One of my friends switched from ash blonde to honey beige and added side layers. She didn't tell anyone, but suddenly, everyone told her she looked well-rested, glowing, happier. She hadn't gone on a spa retreat. She just let her hair support her instead of erase her. And the next combo, it's loud, it's bold, and it's trying to make a statement. But the only thing it's really saying is, help, my hair's doing too much. Combo number 4, choppy layers plus brassy copper. Picture this. Wind picks up, you catch your reflection in a store window, and your hair is flying in 8 different directions. I call it the feathered frenzy. Choppy layers gone wild. And when they're paired with that all too familiar brassy copper tone, well, Suddenly, your hairstyle is doing more performing than you are. Now, don't get me wrong. Layers can be fabulous. They add volume, movement, texture. But when every inch of your head is cut into a different direction with no visual anchor, it stops looking intentional and starts looking chaotic, especially on short hair. When your shortest layers are spiking off your crown and the rest fan out like firework sparks, it can actually exaggerate the roundness or width of your face. Instead of framing your features, it pulls attention away from them, and not in a good way. Now let's layer in, pun intended, that brassy copper tone. It starts out fun. Let's add warmth, but ends up as that artificial orange tone we used to get from boxed dye in the 90s. And here's the catch. Brassy doesn't just clash with skin tones, it fights them. Especially if you have pink undertones or redness, which many of us develop with age. That orangey shade can make your face look blotchy, hot, or uneven. Add that to choppy short layers, and suddenly you're looking flushed, flustered, and like your hair got into a fight with itself. So what's the fix? Two things: controlled shape and refined warmth. Ask your stylist to clean up the layers. Keep volume at the crown, but let the sides hug the face more intentionally. A soft, forward-sweeping motion works beautifully on mature faces. It slims, lifts, and adds balance, ... As for color, trade the brassy copper for a rich auburn or soft cinnamon, something warm but with depth and class. Bonus points if you add lowlights for texture without chaos. Think less bright orange flames, more sunlight through autumn leaves. You're not trying to stand out at a neon party. You're trying to glow. And one more thing, when layers are controlled and color is tuned just right, your eyes become the focal point again. Not the color, not the movement, you. Next up, a cut that looks easy on paper until it steals every drop of energy from your face. Let's talk about what happens when no fuss turns into no shape. Combo number 5. Ear length cut plus 2 warm red. Somewhere along the line, ear length and red became the unofficial haircut of I don't want to deal with it anymore. It's short, but not too short. It's red, but not fire truck red, more like chili pepper left in the sun. It says, I used to be fun, and also, don't make me blow dry. Now here's where things go sideways. An ear-length cut, especially one that stops dead at the jawline, can be one of the hardest shapes to pull off after 60. Why? Because it cuts the face right at its widest point. If your cheeks are fuller, as most of ours are, thanks gravity, the shape emphasizes it. If your jawline is softening, it frames the roundness instead of contouring it. It's like drawing a red circle around the area you're trying to soften. Now let's add in that warm red, the one that always seems to skew just a bit too orange. Maybe the stylist called it coppery chestnut or vibrant sienna. But under bathroom lighting, it leans closer to paprika. And here's the rub. Warm red tones bring out warmth in the skin, which sounds good, unless you already have natural redness. Suddenly, your cheeks are glowing. Your nose is blushing. Your neck looks a little spicy, and not in the wow, she's radiant way. More like, is she okay? But the real problem? This combo feels like effort, without actually doing the work of framing or flattering your features. It's bold, but not balanced. So here's a cheeky fix. Instead of stopping your hair right at the ear, let it sweep just below the jawline with a bit of taper. Add a side part to break up the boxiness. And don't forget movement. A soft curve inward does wonders for redefining the face. As for the red, try a neutral auburn, or even a warm brown with red undertones. You still get that vibrant kick, but with less heat lamp and more autumn glow. The color should lift your eyes, not light up your T-zone. And no, you don't have to be fun through your hair color alone. You're already magnetic. Your hair's just supposed to say, she's still got it, not she's overheating. Now brace yourself. The next combo? It's a relic from the past that somehow keeps coming back. and it's the fastest shortcut to looking 10 years older. Combo number 6. Bowl cut plus yellowy blonde. There's something quietly heartbreaking about the bowl cut. You know the one. Straight across the front, rounded around the sides, maybe a little flip at the ends if you slept funny. It's the kind of cut that whispers, "I gave up." But what it's really saying is, "I didn't know what else to do." I've seen so many women, smart, vibrant, full of life, walk into a salon and ask for just something easy. And too often, what they get is a blunt, rounded cut that erases all the nuance from their face. Then it gets paired with a yellowy blonde, that too bright, too warm tone that might have looked sun-kissed once upon a time, but now just fights every undertone you've got. Here's the emotional truth. A lot of us were taught that at a certain age, we're supposed to disappear a little, that we should tone it down, keep it simple, not try too hard. But simple shouldn't mean shapeless. And ease doesn't have to come at the cost of elegance. The bowl cut, especially in its short form, does something damaging to our self-image. It removes all intention. No face framing, no movement, no lift. Just a half circle around the head that draws all the attention to the widest part of the face. And that yellow blonde, it's not sunshine. It's the result of over-bleaching, undertoning, and using box dyes meant for summer teenagers, not luminous women in their 60s. It can make the skin look waxy, tired, or worse, aged in a way that doesn't reflect the energy you actually have. So what's the shift here? Let's start with softness. A few long, side-swept layers can break up that helmet effect. A bit of texture around the crown brings back lift. Let the hair frame you again, not hide you, not flatten you. Just support the face you've earned. And for the color, cool it down, but not too much. Neutral blondes with subtle beige or creamy highlights work wonders on mature skin. They reflect light, bring warmth without overdoing it, and make your complexion look balanced instead of blotchy. The goal isn't to look 30. It's to look like you, with all your spark and softness intact. And if no one's told you lately, you don't owe the world a low-maintenance version of yourself. You get to glow. In whatever way feels honest, even if that means ditching the haircut you've had for 20 years and saying, "Okay, maybe I am ready for something new." Ready to tie it all together? Let's close this out. Here's the real takeaway. It was never just about the haircut or the color. It's about intention, about choosing something that lifts you, not just physically, but emotionally. Too many of us settled for easy or classic because it felt safe, or because we were told that, after 60, changing your look was either trying too hard or not worth it. Well, that's nonsense. You deserve a haircut that flatters your real, present-day face, not the one from 10 years ago, or the one someone else thinks you should have. And your hair color? It should glow with you, not fight your skin, dim your features, or box you in. Every mistake we talked about today, I've seen it, lived it, or lovingly pointed it out in a friend's selfie. And every single one has a fix that doesn't require a full makeover. Just a little courage, a good mirror, and maybe a better stylist. So here's my gentle nudge. What if your next haircut didn't try to make you look younger, but just made you look more like you? Energized, elegant, unmistakably alive. Now I want to hear from you. Which one of these mistakes made you nod a little too hard? Or which one of you secretly rocked and owned anyway? Drop a comment below. We're in this glow-up phase together.